So wild day Friday, very hard down move in the market. So we started with the accelerated uptrend. We used that as an opportunity in the mid 280s to start buying puts to play for a down move in the market. We did have signs starting on Monday that sellers were starting to take control versus what they've been doing in the prior weeks. And then with the catalyst on Friday, with the jobs number with strong growth, that was a reason for people to start hitting bids more. And then you saw that just people were not willing to step in and buy at places where in the past, 279 even to 278, you'd see some buyers step in there and get a close back up above 280. That didn't happen. We got a bounce back up to 279. We took out the midday low, and then things accelerated into the close, and you can see this morning we're down at 273 when I got to the office. So if we zoom in a little bit on the 5-minute, we can get a better look. But let me make a broader point, the same point that I made to the desk when we had our weekly meeting earlier. There's a change in the market. When the market changes, you change your strategies, you change your approach. And so we're in the middle of earnings season. And normally in the middle of earnings season, your focus is going to be stocks that are reporting earnings or stocks that are guiding higher or stocks that are guiding lower. What happens is when there's a dramatic increase in volatility in the market, the trades that we normally make in individual stocks, the win rate comes down a little bit. Not to say that super in play stocks with really strong news money can't be made, but what happens is the volatility of the market itself can cause stocks to overshoot to the downside and overshoot to the upside. And so what I said to the desk and what I say to you is, why not focus on the thing that's driving those stocks to overshoot and undershoot particular areas, and that's the market itself and in the volatility of the market, the VIX. So that's where our focus is, at least for today, and maybe we'll have heightened volatility for a few days, and we'll continue to trade the market ETFs and the volatility ETFs as we very selectively trade individual names. So if we kind of look at what's going on in the pre-market, I already made a couple of trades. Now I came in long a little bit. I used this bottoming in 273. I was actually got here a little bit later than I wanted to because I really did want to buy down here at 273. By the time I came in, we had already bounced a little bit. So I used this pullback here to the quarter to buy here and then start to scale out here and here and got short a little bit. Another thing that changes when the market gets like this is we trade move to move. Certainly at some point, if we take out the pre-market low and we really flush into the 272s, I will look to hold for $1.50 to $2 move at least. And if things are tight after we bounce, move sideways and move right to the upside, I will continue with that trend, maybe all the way back up to 275. But in the meantime, we did have this area earlier in the pre-market where we failed. And so when we got up here, I got out and flipped to a few shares short. Also, I do still have some options from a couple of Fridays ago where I got short the market. Now, the way I'm positioned for going into Wednesday is I actually need us to close above 273 or else I could start losing some money on my short puts. So that's that. The other thing, as long as I'm talking about options, if we do flush into the 272s today, I'll use that as an opportunity to sell some 270 puts for this week, get some premium there, and then I'll also buy some probably some like 276s, 277, something like that, in case we get a larger bounce. So that's on the option side. All right, let's take a look at IWM. So IWM was down, definitely lower than this. So it was down at 152 earlier. I want you to see the 30 minutes so we can just take a quick look. Echo. Turned off the other meeting. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So what I wanted to highlight to you was this area here. So we've been consolidating for a while in IWM. We had topped out at 54.5 or so, and then we were supporting around 53. We had this day where we got crushed through, and then the next day we got back above. So I mean, to me, this is an interesting area to buy. This was pretty much the low here, 52 and change. until we made the move to 160. So I already put in a script in case we come back down here. I feel like the script's like right about here. And then it's basically my stops down here. So if we come down into this pre-market low area, I'm going to be long. And I'll play it for a move here. I'll take sell here and then see if we can actually, over the next couple of days, move back into this area up here. So I put some levels on the sheet for both of these. Let's take a look at VXX. VXX shorted at 35. Let me go to the 5-minute, or a little bit below 35. So when I started looking at it, first of all, let's look at Friday. So Friday, it got above 30.50, and then it pulled back in. So that had been Thursday's high. So that actually supported, and then we had that big trend to 33.5, and then we dropped a point and change. And this morning with the big gap up, I mean, honestly, the way we closed on Friday, I was thinking anywhere 34.5 or above would be a spot to short the VXX. And you can see this morning it was above 35, up at 35.30. When it had the hard down move of $1 and came back up into the 34.80s, that's where I shorted it. And I was looking just for $1 to $1.20 down move into this, basically into this area here. So we got that, it caught a bid. So you have this basically here. I mean, this is the spot to see if it makes another lower high. So we had the high in the pre-market and your lower high. And the first spot to look for another lower high is like here. It's probably somewhere between 34.40 and 34.40 and 34.60. And then if it rolls over again, you play it for a move back down to this again. It's going to be very liquid. The UVIXI, although it moves more on a percentage basis because they haven't done a reverse split in a while, it's much cheaper, so I'm not even sure. Normally trades, let's see, 40 million shares a day. VXX trades 50 million. I mean, you get more bang for your buck in terms of the VIX is $14. So you buy 10,000 shares, and I think it's a triple, right? UVIXI? I think it's triple. So if the VXX moves 2% today, you'll get a 6% move on UVIXI, which is, I don't know, about 66 cents, something like that. So let's say it was consolidating below 15 here, and it's already moving 50. It's already moved in the pre-market. Let's say $1.80, $1.30. So it's definitely showing the ability to move. So if you have less buying power, it's more of an issue off our desk if you're trading a retail account. Cool. So that is that. And then Wells Fargo is the only stock I stuck on here. I don't know if you saw the weekend over the news over the weekend, where the Fed just put ridiculously tough sanctions on them because of all that shenanigans they were doing with opening up fake accounts and screwing a lot of consumers. And Janet Yellen's last act before leaving the Fed was they just put some real serious, I mean, they basically said they can't grow their asset base unless they appoint four new board directors and do a bunch of other things. So that's a big deal. So my thought was, what did I put for resistance? 60, 60, 61.5, 62.5. So good. So this is a pretty good picture. So it got back in the beginning of last year, it was up at 60. And then when it came back to this area here in December, you can see right here why I picked 60-60. It's just, it got here, it failed, it came back, did a retest in the 58s. And then after it broke out from that 50-60, it came back and over a 2-3 day period tested it. And so if you got a bounce to this area here, I mean, I would look for some sort of failure, 60-50 to 61. And then I would look for it to kind of slowly work its way back down to this area here. So that's my initial thought on that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Obviously, the market and VIX ETS will take most of my attention. But if something sets up good in it, I do think, normally it has a 90-cent range, 90-cent ATR. I do think it's not unreasonable to think it could have a $2 to $3 ATR today, a $2 to $3 range today, intraday. And then Apple. So Apple got to 174 after earnings in the after hours. We came in yesterday or Friday, and it got below 68. Came into this area here where I looked for about 65. It did get back up to 66.60 on the open, and then they crushed it, and it held below 64 and then trended down in the afternoon. It's now getting the gap down in the market today, I think getting down to a spot where people are going to look. This was, I guess, the last earnings report before this one. It went from 158 to 168. And so it's pretty much a race to that move. So that's a natural spot where people would be looking to buy it. I'll show you where it kind of broke out from. So this was the consolidation before the earnings caused it to rip to the upside. It was between 57.5 and 55.5. So it's a little bit lower than the pre-market low. So a flush below 58 on the open, that's what gets me involved in the long side. Then I'm looking to play for a move back up to 60 to 61, something like that. And then Netflix I just put on here because this is, if not the strongest stock in the market, probably one of the 3 or 4 strongest. And we know that because when they reported earnings, it gapped to 250, then went up another $40 or $35. And came off at the market last week, but you can see it's already bounced quite a bit in the pre-market. So I think 260 to 261 is now what I would be looking for. This was the big move that kind of ignited the all-time high. So it was down in the 258. So let me go to the 5 minutes so we can see a little bit better. Actually, see, it's just moving with the SPY, right? This looks like the SPY chart, right? Put in the low, put in the higher low. It's actually stronger than the SPYs now, because the SPYs have now come off about 60 cents since I shorted, and Netflix is trying to approach its pre-market high. So if the market actually bottoms and has a decent bounce, this one could easily go back up to 268 to 270. And certainly if it's stable in this area down here around 260 and moving sideways, you want to put a long on there against 259. It's a very good risk to reward. And then having said that, once it has that big bounce up to the high 260s, I would look to for a failure somewhere up in this area up here where it failed on Friday. So that's it. I'm going to keep on starting these meetings a little bit earlier, so you have plenty of time to prep for the open. As I mentioned, I was in here real early today. I already made both long and short trades, and you're just going to have to be active and really control your risk. With the increased volatility, be really careful in your sizing. You might be used to trading with a certain share size. Maybe you're normally trading with 1,000 share positions. Maybe you scale that back to 600 to 800 shares because of the higher volatility. But get a feel for it, and then hopefully the volatility will be more than today and tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see some heightened volatility for a couple of weeks, which would be quite good for us from an intraday perspective. As always, be patient and good luck.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important? And how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.